In the depths of suburban sprawl, where twilight shadows stretch across worn facades, lies Silvermist Home, a beacon of efficiency and control. Its sterile corridors whisper secrets of a regimen that promises order, yet delivers only suffering. Behind these walls, something festers, hidden beneath the surface of an otherwise ordinary existence. As she wheeled herself down the sterile hallway, her worn sneakers squeaking against the polished floor, Emily gazed up at the rows of neatly labeled doors, each one bearing the name and photo of another forgotten soul trapped within these walls. She'd lived here 5 years now, long enough to know every nook and cranny, every staff member's quirks, and the precise sequence of meals served during breakfast hours. Her eyes lingered on door 17, where Mrs. Jenkins lay bedridden since last week's incident, involving an overzealous nurse with a bad habit of injecting questionable meds directly into veins. Emily continued toward the activities room, navigating around a cluster of seniors engrossed in a heated game of bingo. The air clung heavy with disinfectant fumes, mingling with whispers of rebellion. They spoke of resistance, of pushing back against the suffocating grip of the resident codebook. But when questioned further, faces clouded, voices dropped to near whispers, and silence. This morning's discussion was still fresh in her mind. "If we just stick to it," Mrs. Thompson urged, fingers trembling as she folded her wheelchair blankets. "We'll be fine." "But what if I die?" someone asked quietly. "You won't think twice about dying then," came Mr. Lee's dry retort. He glared pointedly across the table before shuffling his cards again. Each of their attempts to scrutinize the new edition of their guide only ended in frustration. Something felt off this time, like there were hidden pages between lines, subtle warnings embedded in routine tasks, waiting for compliance. Or perhaps it was something more sinister lurking beneath. Suddenly, Emily spotted Rachel standing beside the coffee machine, nervously rubbing the sleeve of her sweatshirt. Their brief eye contact sent a jolt of recognition, a shared unease that neither dared verbalize. What would happen once you refused to follow orders? Would some invisible force simply pick you apart, erode your very existence? A faint rumble echoed outside. Morning traffic stirred beyond Silvermist Home's perimeter fence. On cue, the dining hall doors swung open, admitting trays of steaming breakfast dishes. Residents stood, slowly rising from their seats, already prepared to recite the daily routines scripted in the code. Toothbrushing after teeth-brushing powder, combing tangles out of silver hair using medicated shampoo, wearing matching green jogging suits for outdoor exercise sessions conducted under stern supervision. This morning held nothing out of the ordinary, save one subtle shift in atmosphere, or so it seemed. A quiet dread hung in the air, making skin crawl without reason. Words are watched. The cameras above flickered, casting eerie shadows along the polished floor. The lights seemed different today. Resident conversations ceased momentarily as they shifted toward the source of attention. Mrs. Jenkins fumbled for her keys, eyes darting toward the security monitor at the corner of the lobby. A grainy image flickered across its screen, one she'd seen countless times before, yet now seemed twisted into an unfamiliar shape. She hesitated, hand poised over the door handle, heart thudding against her chest like a trapped animal. Her gaze snapped back to the camera feed. Something was off about this particular shot. Shadows danced across the walls of some dimly lit room. Or was it the same room? She squinted, trying to pinpoint details but couldn't quite place them. Suddenly, a loud creak echoed down the corridor outside their apartment block. It sounded like footsteps, heavy and deliberate. Unlike anyone who lived there, her phone buzzed, insistently in her pocket. Another call from Mr. Patel across the hall, asking if everything was all right. What could he possibly think had happened? Mrs. Jenkins brushed him aside curtly, unwilling to discuss anything until she figured out what was happening herself. Whisper, somehow saw, somehow knew. As more voices chimed in, confirming her own uneasy suspicions, whispers spread among residents gathered by the elevators, forming hushed knots and exchanging worried glances. Mrs. Jenkins watched disbelieving, feeling heat rise to her face as people began whispering, "It's watching us again." Forced breathing drew near, hot exhalations on the nape of someone else nearby. She swiveled, finding Emily Chen huddled beside her, white-faced, as the pair clung together tight, oblivious to everyone else's panic-stricken chatter. "What have we done?" Emily gasped between ragged breaths, eyes wide open towards nothingness. Dark corridors stretched out before Mrs. Jenkins like skeletal fingers, every flicker of light amplifying shadows into grotesque silhouettes. Whispers still lingered. "It's watching us again." The phrase repeated itself in her mind like a morbid mantra, taunting her with uncertainty. She reached for her keys once more, hand trembling beneath hers. This time, however, she hesitated not. With jerky movements, she unlocked the door and pushed it open, stepping across the threshold into relative silence. Inside, the air felt heavy with stale breath and sweat. Panic, fast. They wouldn't let you leave. No one seemed to move, frozen in anticipation or terror. Mr. Patel hovered near the kitchenette, his phone pressed against his ear, listening intently as he shook his head back and forth. No, I haven't seen anything," he whispered urgently, speaking to some unknown recipient beyond himself. Suddenly, Emily yanked free from Mrs. Jenkins' hold. Her eyes bulged wide as she screamed. "No, please don't go," Emily yelled at top volume, flailing arms wildly towards the gathering crowd. But panic swelled too far, logic unraveled thread by thread within each fleeing figure. They charged forward now, engulfed in madness. Mrs. Jenkins sprinted alongside them, heart racing hard enough to feel pounding against eardrums. Fists pounded on doors, shouts echoed off walls, furniture smashed against concrete in futile attempts at escape. Deep, ominous, period. When screams faded into hazy echoes, nothing remained except scattered bodies, crushed beneath steel beams that creaked ominously under new pressure. Then absolute stillness. The only movement came from the gentle sway of trees beyond shattered windows, their leaves rustling softly through dying sunlight.